All right, so let's just talk about the situation with Will Levis. I think that um, people hype players up, and their expectations. First of all, Anthony Richardson's expectations are way high. Will Levis's are probably even higher. What has he done? I think that Will Levis made a name for himself in 2021 when they beat Iowa. They beat Iowa in a bowl in the bowl game. Apparently, he raised some, he changed, he influenced some people. But if you look at that bowl game and look at how he performed against Iowa, they were ranked 22nd. Very marginal stats. He was 17 for 28, 233 yards, one touchdown and one interception with a 61.9 QBR. Waddell Robinson was probably the guy that carried that team, and he had 15 carries for negative 11 yards. So he wasn't toting that thing like he was. This year he was abysmal. I think that he was basically average throughout the season. He had some decent games in the beginning where he threw over 300 yards against Miami of Ohio, Youngstown, Northern Illinois. He threw over 300 yards, but every team that was in FBS, big FBS, he didn't throw for over 300 yards. I mean, he threw 98 yards against Tennessee. He threw 109 against Vanderbilt, right? And then you look at his stats this year. So his stats in 2021 were 24 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. This year, he had 19 interceptions, 10 interceptions, 19 touchdowns, 2,400 yards. His rushing this year, 72 attempts, 107. Of course, college they add sacks to it as well too. But his 21-year campaign put him on the map, and then we forgot how good he wasn't this year when it came for him passing the ball. The idea is that he's going to be like a Josh Allen, but he's not like a Josh Allen. And I got to ask this question, like, what really has Josh Allen done outside of having amazing weapons? Josh Allen has always been equipped to be successful. Will Levis, he really hasn't done anything. I went to University of Kentucky one year, and I want to see these Kentucky guys do well, but you really can't put him on the map. I mean, his numbers are average. If someone's averaging if someone has 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, I'm expecting them to do stuff on the ground, but he hasn't. He hasn't done anything on the ground. So there's this huge misconception about him being this solid quarterback, but he hasn't shown that he can pass the ball in the pocket. He plays dangerous sport. It doesn't really know that if he's going to be durable or not. So I understand why teams passed on him. He doesn't have wild intangibles like Anthony Richardson. I think he was trying to promote that during the draft, but don't be surprised that he's sitting on the draft board for this long because he really hasn't done anything in college. Some team may pick him up, but if I'm a team, I'm taking Hernan Hooker before I pick up Will Levis.